Learning spells is one of the most important and fun parts of a young witch or wizard's education. They come in handy for absolutely everything. Today, we're here at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter, and we're going to have a go at learning some of the spells that every witch or wizard is taught in Charms class during their time at Hogwarts. To help us, we're joined by Paul Harris, who invented the spell-casting movements in the film Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Hello, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Evanna.
As you know, we go way back. I think we joined the films at the very same time, Order of the Phoenix.
We did indeed.
And you were my first Charms teacher.
You were my first spell deliverer as well.
Paul is here to show us the spell-casting positions he created when working on the films. Even basic spells can be a little tricky to master. Harry and Ron find this out during a Charms lesson in their first year. Now don't forget that nice wrist movement we've been practicing, squeaked Professor Flitwick, perched on top of his pile of books as usual. Swish and flick, remember? Swish and flick. And saying the magic words properly is very important too. Ron at the next table wasn't having much more luck. Wingardium Leviosa, he shouted, waving his long arms like a windmill. You're saying it wrong, Harry heard Hermione snap. It's Wingardium Leviosa. Make the gar nice and long. You do it then if you're so clever, Ron snarled. Hermione rolled up the sleeves of her gown, flicked her wand and said, Wingardium Leviosa. Their feather rose off the desk and hovered about 4 feet above their heads. Oh, well done, cried Professor Flitwick, clapping. Everyone see here, Miss Granger's done it. Ron was in a very bad temper by the end of the class. Hermione must have been paying attention. Paul is going to show us the positions to take when casting spells today. We're then going to have some fun making up actions to go with each spell. First, Paul is going to introduce each spell to us and talk about its effects before casting. You and I will then cast straight after Paul to get used to how to say each spell and the wand movement. So let's all get to our feet and be ready to cast spells when I tell you to. Thank you very much, Mr. Wand Master. So, Paul, which spells are we going to be learning today?
The first spell is Wingardium Leviosa. This spell levitates objects, which means to rise and float in the air.
Very nice. And as I remember, there is a specific movement to it?
Well, I'm going to use position 3 for this. So I'm going to bring the arm across and then bring the wand arm under the body, and don't forget the all-important swish and flick. So as you make this movement, say the name of the spell. 3, 2, 1. Wingardium Leviosa.
Oh, my wand work is a little rusty.
Let's go again. One more time. Arm across the body.
And is that like a defensive mechanism?
It is, but
okay.
We're mainly focused on delivering the spell today.
Okay.
But we're going to use this because we can really highlight the swish and flick rotation. Bring the arm across the body. 3, 2, 1. Wingardium Leviosa.
I think that worked.
I think it worked very well. I can see a levitating object right there. So the next spell is Reducio, which is a shrinking spell. So for this, we're going to use position 2. So bring your wand arm forward and get your body a little bit into the delivery of the spell, but still don't forget the all-important swish and flick.
And it comes from the wrist or the shoulder?
Well, it comes from the whole being of the wizard, right through the body, right through the arm, into the delivery of the spell.
A true master here. Make sure that you try it with us. So you need to get up, get active. It's quite involved, this, as you say. It's a full body
The whole body. There has to be something that makes one wizard better than another. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Reducio. 3, 2, 1. Reducio.
Oh, look, it worked. Everyone at home is very tiny.
So our next spell is Incendio, which creates fire.
Yes.
And for this, we're going to use position 1, which is above the head. So we're going to create a nice clean curve above the head, aiming the wand at the target, still always using the swish and flick, inverted rotation of the wrist. Bring the wand forward and swish it back. 3, 2, 1, Incendio!
Whoa. You might not have been able to hear that at home, but I just heard a whipping noise from your wand.
Swish and flick.
Power, yeah.
Here we go. One more time, above the head, nice clean curve. 3, 2, 1,
Incendio!
Incendio! So the next spell is Petrificus Totalis, which makes a person freeze in place.
I remember this one from the first movie. They performed it on good old Neville Longbottom. Do you remember this?
Wow, you are an encyclopedia of information. So this one we're going to use position 4, which is bringing the wand into the small of the back, but still remembering the swish and flick. So even though it's behind the back, and even though it's in the small of the back, that's it, exactly. Okay. So we're going to bring the wand in the small of the back, say the name of the spell, aim at the target, 3, 2, 1, Petrificus Totalis!
I can't get that whip sound. It sounds so great from yours. I can't do it. Got to practice.
Shall we do that one again?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1,
Petrificus Totalis! It's hard not to turn it into a dance move.
Ah, well, it's funny you should say that, because our final spell is Tarantallegra, which causes uncontrollable dancing.
There you go.
Aimed at the legs and causes uncontrollable dancing movements.
Tarantallegra.
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 So we're going to turn our body, we're going to use position 5 for this. Turn our body to the left and fire the spell behind you. Exactly.
Okay. Make sure you get involved at home. This is quite difficult. This is your chance to practice your wand work.
Well, so here we go. The target is there.
Okay.
The legs are there. Uncontrollable dancing. 3, 2, 1.
Tarantallegra! I can't help doing my jazz hands. What are you doing with your hand?
I'm bringing mine across my body in case I need to defend myself. I mean, we have no one attacking us at this moment, but it's possible that you might.
Okay, maybe jazz hands are my signature flair for this one.
With white gloves. 3, 2, 1.
Tarantallegra! Now we're going to imagine the effect of each spell by performing a corresponding action. In our first run through, I'll show you one way you can interpret each spell's effect. So try copying me. Paul, if you will.
So here we go. The first one. Wingardium Leviosa.
That's as high as I can go.
Reducio. Incendio.
Ah, I'm on fire!
Petrificus Totalis. Tarantallegra.
The best one. I wish I could Irish dance. I never actually learned. It's quite tiring, this one. I think I'm going to stop. Now let's try that again, but quicker. See if you can keep up at home.
Wingardium Leviosa. Reducio. Incendio. Petrificus Totalis. Tarantallegra.
This is my favorite one.
I think you should just keep going.
Thank you so much. You have not lost your touch, Paul. You are a true master of charms, and I will continue to practice, I promise.
Thank you, and it's so lovely to see you again.
Likewise. What a fun way to discover some of the most important spells that Harry, Ron, and Hermione encountered during their time at Hogwarts.